still raising questions.
But what about the Juvenile Justice Center?
Do you know that Jesus loves you, Elliot?
Won't leave me, but I refuse to let you go. If you wanna beg and plead for my sympathy. Okay. Hi, folks. How's it going?
Ladies and gentlemen, I think what just happened here is Tim tried to hump on the football, and he just like fell down.
Come here, Holly. I tried to make an advance on the ball. It didn't work out. Come here, Holly. You want some wine, Holly?
Oh, shit.
Let's see here. Oh, look. No more wine. We're out. Sorry. You're going to have to go away. You want to say hi to the camera? You can't drink that. Your dog. So anyway, folks, well, I guess I don't have to talk that loud. Close it up.
Yeah, get closer.
So T-Dog here, hanging with Jerry in St. Louis. We're not hillbillies. We don't fuck sheep or goats or anything like that.
Hey, am I supposed to know how to focus this thing, or does it do it itself?
It autofocuses, yeah.
Okay.
Has it been doing that?
I guess so.
Okay. Should. So, drinking a little wine here in a regular glass. Faux pas, I know, but fuck you! What are you gonna do about it? So, I guess I could talk a little bit about Bowling for Columbine, which is, I guess we might have different people talk about this show, because really, folks, as far as substance movie that's really about something, and just really kind of, you know, it really gives you a sense of America, what it's like to be in America during this time. When it comes out on, I know a lot of people, you know, especially our folks back in Marshall, well, this will air in Marshall, so, but you're never going to get to see that at the theater. You know, Marshall 6 is not going to get Bowling for Columbine, so, but it will be probably at Premiere Video. And you can watch it, and it's good. I mean, I know what you're thinking. I mean, I'm like this too. And you look at my top 10 movies of the year, and they're all like blockbusters, you know, Minority Report, Spider-Man, all that stuff. But this is a good movie, and it is a documentary, but it's fucking hilarious. But it also makes you think. And there's also lots and lots of orgies in it, which really shocked me for a documentary. I thought, why would they just, you know, try to film orgies in a movie about gun violence? But actually, no, there's no orgies, and it's more about the sort of larger concerns of our society. I mean, it's sort of interesting because it talks about how, I mean, you think the obvious answer, a knee-jerk response to something like gun violence from a liberal guy like Michael Moore, even though, come on, compared to most people identified as liberal in the society, Moore is even farther left than them. So he's just a guy who really believes in social justice and that kind of thing. And most, quote, liberals don't even give a fuck about that. But anyway, sidebar aside there, he's really kind of, I mean, you think the knee-jerk response would be, oh, the simple answer is we've got all these guns. Or another simple answer would be, oh, there's poverty, so that's why people use the guns. Or, oh, people get drunk. Yeah, they drink wine. Or, oh, they've got a sinister-looking dog, and they have to shoot the dog, so they use a gun. No, that's not the answer, folks. Holly did not cause gun violence. Did you cause gun violence? Did you? Are you sure? Okay, anyway. No. What the issue is, I mean, yeah, of course, you know, there's a lot of different factors, and sure, sometimes people get in dire straits because of whatever, poverty or whatnot, or sometimes there are racial tensions which somehow spark into gun violence, but ultimately he got to this issue of fear causing this culture of saying, I've got to have a gun under my pillow or a gun in my gun cabinet or wherever the fuck, and I've got to be ready to use it and to defend myself. And I'm guilty of that too, even in Marshall, folks, which, let's face it, I mean, you know, most people who grew up in Marshall know it's safe as a fucking house. I mean, I've heard about people just leaving their houses unlocked for a week or a month, being gone on vacation, And they don't worry about it because they're in Marshall. Of course, part of the reason that it's so safe is, I guess, because there's a kind of like a police guy on every block. So, and I don't know. Fuck it. But here's the thing. It's about fear. It's about fear, Holly. Fear! Are you afraid? I'm afraid. No, you shouldn't be afraid. That's the thing. West Nile virus? Fuck the West Nile virus. That's what I said. I mean, I was actually out playing mini golf this summer, and I was worried about the West Nile virus. Were you worried about it, Holly? Were you worried about it? You should have been. They were telling you to worry about it, and fucking 60 people died from it. I mean, 60 people died from getting hit in the head by a fucking flying bowling ball. Did you ever know that, huh? It's true.
Yeah, that was one of those fear things that Michael Moore didn't point out in his movie. He was giving other examples like Africanized bees and other bullshit that we supposedly are supposed to be afraid of.
He should have mentioned anthrax too, which I'm surprised since he featured 9/11 as sort of the new big terror. I mean, it's the terror scare, but it's more we're causing the terror more than the terrorists are. But yeah, I'm surprised that anthrax didn't play into that because it was followed so hard on the heels of 9/11, and then. Of course, the big thing over the summer was the big, oh, your child's going to be abducted at any fucking minute. I mean, could you imagine? I mean, I guess my theory is that what if that's true? I mean, it is true. It is true that your kid could be abducted, Jerry. Do you have a kid?
No.
Okay, but let's say you did. Okay, your kid could be abducted. You're like but it's like the odds are that your kid could be abducted as much. The odds are equal with you winning the Powerball. Okay, let's say that. And that might be true, actually. I mean, I haven't done the research, but let's say the odds are the same of your kid getting abducted as of you winning the Powerball. Are you going to lock up your kid at night? Are you never going to let them go out? I mean, that's what the implication was from all this reporting was you can never let your children out of your sight. I mean, when I was a kid, if there was a fucking serial killer in Marlboro, Missouri, he would have fucking nailed my ass because I was riding bikes all the time away from my mom. I was running around doing just screwing around, doing crazy shit. And it wasn't anything violent or even really illegal, but I was off on my own, Sometimes we'd go and try to get into some like abandoned house or whatever. I guess that might be technically illegal, but I mean, so we were doing all kinds of things that could lead us to peril. But there was no stranger out to grab us and that kind of thing. And yes, it's going to happen. I mean, it is going to happen, but I just think it's worth the risk to say, let your kids play, let them live without fear. But the media tells us the very opposite, that somehow living in fear for your entire life is worth it as long as you don't get hurt or, you're going to get hurt. You're going to die, you're going to get some fucking horrible disease someday probably. Or you're just going to die of natural, old age. You're going to be gone. So I say, hey, let's live like the Canadians, right? Canadians, Jerry, remember them? Yeah, they're good people. They live in, sounds like Canada from watching Bowling for Columbine is really a paradise. I guess I thought I said something like once, like I'd move to Canada if we elected Gore for president, because I thought Gore was like a little too inhuman to be elected. But now I'm thinking, geez, God, compared to Bush, he's like Mr. Cool or whatever. So anyway, got any questions?
Following that logic, you could say that we should all move to the same planet that Marilyn Manson is from, because he was kind of like the first person in that movie to say that, it's all we're like based on a culture of fear, and it's all a bunch of let's be afraid of whatever, and then because we're scared of whatever, we go and buy the product that's being advertised on TV or however he put it. I don't remember, but
no, that's an interesting point. But he says the thing I kind of wonder sometimes if more the documentarian Michael Moore sort of gets an idea from someone that says, boy, holy shit, Marilyn Manson is right. It's about fear. Because you're right. In the movie Bowling for Columbine, he does interview Marilyn Manson, and that's the first point in the movie where somebody says, you know what, it's about fear. And then suddenly Moore starts interviewing experts and such. Now, Moore might have had the idea all along, but who knows? He might have used the documentary as a way to try to find answers and ask people, what is the answer? Because he seemed to really be asking people, why do we do this? In other countries, some of them have lots of guns, but they don't do all this. Anyway, you're right. But the interesting thing is that Marilyn Manson, the idea that Moore didn't really follow up on, is that Manson said something about how we're supposed to be scared, but somehow being scared leads to consuming things. Now you can sort of see that on a there's some logical level on some of that, because you say, okay, I'm scared, so what am I going to do? I'm going to go buy a gun. There's money spent. I'm going to go buy ammunition. Money spent. I'm going to go get a security system for my house. Money spent. Now, Jerry, you actually have a little experience with this, because you did get broken into, and I can film you on this if you want, but that to me, that was a logical case of where you had actually had something done to you. So you said, oh, okay, we need to beef up our security, so you spent some money. But Manson was talking more about how somehow the idea of being kept in fear makes us, it's like we're supposed to fear such minute things, like, oh my God, I'm supposed to fear that my breath stinks, or that I could have, oh man, my favorite one is rosacea.
Well, he was saying, whatever it is we're programmed to fear by the media, we're going to buy some product to protect us from that fear.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like...
Right. And it could be something so minute as like the rosacea is where your face is red. Oh my God, my face is red. Holy fuck. Fucking Bill Holm has this all the time, and it's just who he is. He's a guy we know from Minnesota. He's a teacher. And, so what? I like his face red. He looks cool. Looks like Santa Claus. That's cool. So anyway. So yeah, but the thing is, it's like the smallest fears and the greatest fears are all equal. It's like, I should fear acne, I should fear West Nile virus, I should fear, and this is kind of, another good example in that movie was from they interviewed the guy from South Park, who sort of talked about how even just things like getting people to fear how they're going to do in a particular class sets up a power structure where a teacher can kind of make or break your life, and that's the theory that, if I get a D in trig, I'm fucked for life or whatever. Hey, I got a D in religion, I'm fine, So, that's what I think anyway. I don't know. Somebody might disagree. Holly, do you disagree? No, you're sleeping now, okay. Anyway, but no.
Yeah, there was a lot going on in that movie. A lot of things to talk about afterwards. Sort of, it was that kind of controversial movie more than anything else.
But it also it's almost like one of those things where it's like incontrovertible. I defy somebody to watch a movie like that and tell me that was total propaganda or bullshit. Some things you do see on TV and they exaggerate things, and even sometimes from a good point of view, you see how they exaggerate the truth, and liberals can do it. Mostly TV is dominated by conservative discourse, but certainly a liberal could take some facts and distort it. In fact, I've heard that Michael Moore in the past has occasionally inflated